Hello and welcome back again once more, students. We previously talked about strings, but now we need to talk about string methods. So if you recall, strings are objects, but what good are objects if we can't use their methods, their properties? So let's go ahead and get started here with a couple of those things. So if you recall, actions an object can take are methods. And there are multiple meshes that can occur within a string object. Right, so an easy one to start us off is the length method. So here I have string hello equals quote hello, and then I can just do hello.length. The dot is going to signal to Java to invoke or call the method. Now, often if we want to see the value displayed, we need to place it inside of a system.out.println. So here I got system.out.println hello.length, and it will return the value. In this case, the length of the string should return a value of 6 characters, because there's an H, an E, an L, an L, an O, and an exclamation point. Remember, it's not just numbers, and it's not just letters, it's all the characters, including space. So let's look at string at length a little bit more. So this is going to return the number of characters in a string. Right? And here's another example for us. String greeting equals quote hello, system.out.println greeting.length. The above code will return a value of 6, right? Because you have H, E, L, L, O, exclamation point. If we wanted to use the value of length in a variable, it's pretty easy to do. String farewell equals quote goodbye. Int count equals farewell.length. System.out.println quote the length of the string is quote plus count. So we could use a variable to keep track of that rather than just outputting it, like we have in the first example there with greeting. Now let's look at another method, which is string.equals. All right, this simply returns true if the two strings are in the same value. So here I have string greeting equals hello, greeting.equals quote hello. That should return true because they are matching strings. String.equals quote goodbye is going to return false. And then, of course, we got another one there with hello. So we can also compare the two string objects. So here I have greeting and another string. So I have hello and goodbye, and I can just do greeting.equals another string. I believe this might be a typo. So I think that might be false because I believe it should be equals ignore case here. So note hello and hello are not the same because the cases do not match. All right, so yeah, this right here I think is a typo. This should say returns false. I do believe so. Yes, because here's ignore case. So, yep, there is a small typo here, folks. Just so you know, this should say returns false because this is an uppercase H. This is a lowercase h. So I must have missed that when I put these notes in here. That should say returns false. All right, ignores case is how though we can deal with that issue. So if I'm using ignores case, it will return true if the value of two strings are equal, ignoring upper or lower cases. So here I have string name Mary. System.out.println name.equals ignore case quote Mary. Right, if you notice, the words are identical except for one being uppercase and one being lowercase. If we did string.equals, we would find that they're false because they are not the same. However, this is going to return a value of true because outside of the upper or lowercase, the characters are exactly the same. Now let's say I wanted to convert a word to either all upper or all lower. First thing I'm going to do is string.toLowercase. Returns a string with characters that are all lowercase. So here I have string greeting equals quote hi Mary quote. I'm going to do system.out.println greeting.toLowercase. So it would print out then hi Mary. If you want to convert a string, not just print it out, but you want to change the string completely from uppercase to lowercase, you can do like the following. String sends equals quote, this will be converted, quote, sends equals sends.toLowercase. And so now sends would have this will be converted, but all lowercase letters. Similarly, we can also convert everything to uppercase. Returns a string with all characters that are uppercase. So here I have hi Mary again, and I'm going to do greeting.toUpper, and that's going to return as Hi Mary. All right, if we want to convert the string, we can do string sentence equals quote, this will be converted, and then you just do sentence equals sentence dot to uppercase. Next we have string.trim. All right, string.trim returns a string with all leading and trailing whitespace characters. All right, so here I have string pause equals quote All right, and you can see there's an extra bit of spaces before it and after it. So I'm going to do system.out.println pause.trim, which is now just going to return as If you want to use this trim string, we can do similar to how we did before. String pause equals sentence equals pause.trim. And so sentence would have just HMM. We also have the char at method. All right, this returns a character that is at the value in the string. Now remember, with strings, the most important thing to remember is that they're similar to arrays in that they don't start their count at 1. The first character is always at position 0. Then it goes 1, then 2, so on. So here, I have string greeting equals quote hello, system.out.println greeting.char at 0, system.out.println greeting.char at 1. The program is going to output first an H, and then it's going to output an E, because H is at the 0 position, and E is at the first position. We also have the substring method. Right, and this returns a portion of string starting at the value defined, so 0, 1, 2, so on. So here I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm going to do a substring of 2, and that is going to return C, D, E, F, G. Substrings can also define a stopping point instead of returning the whole string. So rather than just saying like C, D, E, F, G, maybe I just want, C, D, E, F. So here I have A, B, C, D, F, G again. I'm going to do a substring from 2 to 5, and that's just going to return C, D, E. Let's do string.index of. This returns the int value of the first occurrence of the substring within a string. So here I have greeting is equal to quote, Hi Mary. So I'm going to get the index of Mary. Right? It's going to return 3. And the reason why it's going to return 3 is because it's looking for the word Mary. Well, the Mary starts here at position 3. Now, if I look for Sally, you can look in here and you can say, well, Sally doesn't exist in here at all. And when a string does not exist, it returns a value of -1. You can also ask the method to look after a certain point in the string. This is good if you have multiple characters to shift through. So in this example, I have string name equals, quote, Mary, Mary, quite contrary. And I can do name.index of Mary, 0. Right? It's going to look at position 0. And of course, there's my first one right there. And if we look back at 8, if that means it's going to position 8, it means that it's not going to be in there at all. It's -1 because at position 8, you're now well past where Mary would start. Because even the second Mary, if you look at that one, well, that's starting at position number 7. So it's just past it. Right. Last index of. All right. This is now going to search an entire string and look for the last occurrence of the substring. So index kind of looks for the first occurrence. This looks for the last occurrence. So here I have Mary, 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 quite so. Name.last index of Mary is going to return 12 because the last instance of Mary is occurring at position 12. Remember, the program returns with a value of -1. That means that the substring was not found. Very important to remember that. Now I want to talk quickly about positions and strings. Here we have Java is fun, and you can see I have it kind of laid out with 0 through 11 there. And it's a sentence that spells out Java is fun. Okay. And it's important to talk about this, especially when we get to arrays and lists, but it also matters here in the indexing of strings. A string is always going to start at a value of 0. And it has to do with how code is handled and a lot of that stuff that I'm not going to get into right now with how pretty much a string is handled by the machine. In the example below, there are a total of 12 characters, but you'll notice that the values go from 0 to 11. Right? Capital J for Java is at 0, and then the period is at position 11. Right? Note the phrase Java is fun. Spaces and punctuation are counted as characters. So you can see at position 4 I have a space, At position 7, I have a space. And at position 11, I have a period. Alright, we've made it to our self-test questions. Number 1. What is the output produced by the following code? String test equals, quote, ABCDFG, quote, system.out.println, test.length. System.out.println, test.char@1. Number 2. What is the output produced by the following code? String test equals, quote, ABCDFG, quote, system.out.println, test.substring 3. Number 3. What is the output produced by the following code? String test equals, quote, hello Tony, quote, test equals test.to uppercase, system.out.println, test. Number 4. The following code is supposed to output the string in all lowercase, but contains an error. What is the error? String test equals, quote, please don't shout, quote, test.to lowercase, system.out.println, test. Number 5. Write the correct code from question number 4 that would produce the desired output of all lowercase. And that concludes our presentation for today, folks.